Today, we got some news for Warhammer the Old World that might be very important. Now, I think it's important for a speculative reason, but it's actually quite important if you are looking to build your army right now before the game comes out. And it is basically that a lot of the model ranges from the Cities of Sigmar are being removed. However, they're going to come back in a bit. Let's show you what I'm talking about and let's jump in to the news. I sort of wish there was a dark mode for the community website, but as far as I know, there isn't. Either way, Cities of Sigmar range announcement. Now, I think this is leading to something very big, but let's just go through it for now. Basically, for all you really need to know is that a lot of miniatures are being removed because they're either being replaced or they're just not being replaced. So the ones being removed or replaced, some of them are from the Empire, the Wood Elves, the High Elves, and I'm not sure what else. But basically, it's this important bit here that's very, very interesting to us. Units leaving the range. To make way for these new models, inevitably some units will be leaving Warhammer Age of Sigmar range, and many of these aren't gone for good. And in fact, they will be returning under the name Warhammer the Old World, and this includes High Elves, Wood Elves, and the Empire. You'll still be able to use the rules for them if you have these and you want to use them in your Cities of Sigmar army, but we're not really interested in that. And then here are the models that are being removed in the short term. I'm assuming that pretty much everything here is going to come back. I'm not sure if anything won't have a like for like, I'm not 100% sure. But you can see a lot of it is Empire stuff, some High Elf stuff, Phoenix Guard for example, and some Wood Elf stuff. And right at the bottom we have the Shadow Warriors, which I might pick up and try and convert into some Dark Elf stuff just while I'm talking about it. So all of these are temporarily going away. You can almost rest assured at this point that all of them are going to come back, but that makes it very interesting because I think that means that the game isn't that far away. Now, that might be a complete huge stretch, but it is my opinion that they wouldn't necessarily remove these from the model ranges if they weren't coming back relatively soon. I think that this is a planned, timed thing. Maybe they always plan to do Cities of Sigmar and then lead straight into Warhammer the Old World at the end of the year. Like, I could see that. It sort of makes sense logically. Yeah, I think that might be what they're doing. And thus, I think that this might be evidence that the game is definitely coming out at the end of this year. Just something somewhere tells me that we're building up to that. And I know it might not look like that because we are getting very small updates. We've seen literally 3 new miniatures pretty much. We've learned about the base sizes for pretty much all the infantry, but that's literally it. Yeah, we've had a lot of lore and stuff like that, but when it comes to actual details, we've not seen very much. I think we've also seen the factions that are going to be used, but there was nothing really crazy there apart from maybe like Chaos Dwarfs. So for me, seeing this sort of is building up. I don't know, they're just little things and it's hard to sort of pinpoint. The fact that they're talking more about it later this year in one of the video previews, the fact that they're now doing this, I'm just getting little hints that the release date might be the end of this year. That is what was rumoured. And for me, things are starting to add up. Now, I might be putting 2 and 2 together and getting 3, but we'll see when it actually comes out at the end of this year, or it doesn't. Maybe this is just them doing like, okay, let's just take them off, let's repackage them, and let's release them, and we won't have missing sales for any like large period of time. In my head, I could see them doing that, but we'll have to wait and see. It's not really common that GW do massive long trails of hype trains. Like, can you really imagine us talking about Warhammer the Old World without us having the rules at the end of next year? I can't. Don't think they're going to drag us along that much. I think they are very calculated when they do things, and I think it's all adding up to the end of this year. Not only that, we are going to be getting more news this month. Now, that doesn't really tell us anything because they're pretty much doing this every month. You can keep your spyglasses polished for a new Old World development diary later in July. My instinct tells me that that's probably not next week. I'm going to guess that it's maybe the week after. If it was next week, they may have just said next week. Either way, we'll be reporting on that as soon as we see it. You can bet your bottom dollar there's going to be some maps and some lore. But yeah, it might be a bit of a stretch, but I think this is important news. Like, if you want to collect any of these right now, you need to buy them, or you can wait till they're repackaged. But if you want to get ahead of the game and you want to be building now, you got to be buying now. It's just the way things go. Now, my reading comprehension is pretty low. I don't actually know when this is happening, but they're probably giving you enough warning that if you do want to buy them now, you can go ahead and buy them now. I'm assuming they're not giving a date because that would actually tell us when this release is coming out, and maybe they're not ready to do that yet. Either way, it'll be happening soon, TM. So I could be wrong. Maybe I'm completely misunderestimating GW. But I don't know, I'm just feeling signs that we're building to this release. Now, it might be completely hopium copium and it might be coming out of nowhere, but I don't think GW are going to lead us on for that long. It's just not something I see them doing. And we have that countdown thing that's possibly like leading into like an October release. We're getting these new models that are getting taken off the shelves only to get put back on the shelves, probably just like a simple repackage. I think it's calculated. I do honestly think we're heading towards a release at the end of this year at this point. But secondly, we're getting more news this month, and if you want to buy these now because you want to make them now, then do it. So a little bit of a here's the actual news, and then here's what I think it means, and I might be completely wrong. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm sure you will do. What you should definitely do though is have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.